guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Today we are working on getting a jacked back. No, not really, but we are going to work on those supporting muscles of the spine to get them strong to make us look good and feel good. These are all going to be on the ground. First one's obviously on the back. You're going to bring your feet about hip width apart. I'm actually going to bring my elbows down into the ground with my arms, kind of like robot arms up here. This has two pieces to it. You're going to do a little tuck of the pelvis so you're flattening your spine out if it feels okay. If not, leave your pelvis where it feels good. From here, I'm going to think about lifting my butt up, and as I do that, I'm actually going to dig those elbows into the ground. So I'm pressing as hard as I can without holding my breath, without straining my neck or right, lifting up from anywhere else, and then coming back down. The other thing to keep in mind is that as you're lifting, only lift that butt as high as you can to make sure that you're not arching through any part of the spine, rib cage or lower back. And we're adding that little dig in here because that actually activates our lats, which help the back as well. Next one's hands and knees are quadruped position, and it is a little bit of a variation on the traditional bird dog. So you're going to take your opposite leg, or right leg in this case, left arm, and instead of bringing that arm out straight, I'm actually going to add in a row. So my right leg is going to go out and my left elbow is going to pull up. Again, kind of like what I said with that first one, this one actually activates those lats a little bit more, so we're getting that cross stability through the back, which is super duper helpful. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, you can use a band and actually get a little bit of resistance when you're rowing. If that is just way too much to start, and it might be because you want to make sure that you're keeping your pelvis level and not shaking all around or arching up and down, then you start with just the legs. So it's just a little leg tap out and back to the middle, and the other leg tap out, back to the middle. And then you can work on adding the hands and knees together once you get that comfortable. All right, next one is nap time. No, just kidding. But you can put a pillow underneath your hips to help support your back a little bit. The higher the pillow, the more support you will get. So if you are having some discomfort lying on your stomach, definitely start with a pillow or two. I'm going to put my head right down on my hand so I protect my neck too. I'm going to take this left leg, bend that foot up, and then I'm just pressing up towards the ceiling. So working those glutes, kind of like we did before too, but also starting to work some of those small muscles in through the spine. It can help if you, again, do a little bit of that pelvic tuck if it feels okay. Same thing like the ones on your back though, make sure that you go into whatever spine position feels best for your body. Now you can change this up a little and make it a little bit harder. Notice I don't have a lot of movement here, and this is where I struggle, right? Straight leg, a little bit harder, a little bit longer lever arm, using a couple different muscles too at the same time. And then to really get a double whammy, if you bring those heels together and then lift both, you're getting again into those glutes and into those low back muscles too. This next one works on the lower part of the trapezius, which is a super duper important stabilizer for the shoulder blade area. So in other words, for the back, obviously, and it tends to be weak on almost all of us. So you're going to start lying down. You can put a pillow underneath your head. My palms are facing up, and that's the starting position. From here, I'm actually going to rotate my hands so that now my pinkies are facing down and my thumbs are up. And I'm going to scooch those hands down towards my feet, and then it's a little lift off. Really trying to make sure that you do not lift the whole body as you're doing this. We're trying to isolate this one a little bit. And like I said, these do tend to be weaker muscles, so you may want to start out with only about 5 or 10. If it feels easy, go ahead and shoot for that 10 to 15. With this last one, we're working through that mid to low back again. So starting with those hands about chest level, you're going to just press gently into those hands and using the back to do most of the work to help lift you up here. So you are pressing a little, like I said, but you really want that back to do most of the work, not the arms. We can get a great arm workout doing something else. Once you are able to do that comfortably, you can go ahead and lift those hands right off the ground. Notice I'm gently squeezing my shoulder blades down too, so my shoulders aren't hiking. And then it's that same lift. Again, I do not lift very high. This is definitely a weak point for me. But same concept, about 5 or 10 to start and building up to about 10 to 15.